Hi guys, Black is here. I want to talk about something that happened some years ago, okay? A friend asked me to take her daughter to look at a car. She wanted to make sure the car wasn't a piece of crap. So as soon as I pulled up in front of the house and I saw the car, I knew the car was a piece of crap. Okay, I ain't even got out the car yet. The car was a purple Chevy Impala. I don't know what year. It was the first year that they went front wheel drive, and some of them had the 3.8 V6, but I think it had the 3.4 in it. Whatever year that body style, I can't remember what it is right now. Anyway, the car was purple. So I knew right away it was a piece of crap. But I knew that this person is going to want me to look at the car a little more before I say it's a piece of crap. So I walked up to the car and I opened the driver's side to pop the hood, and I see a red wire running from inside the car to the outside. Now, this wire was pretty thick. So I figured out what the wire was for just that quickly, but I asked the owner just to see what he's gonna say. Asked him what was this red wire for, and he says, "Oh, that's for the alarm. We put an alarm on the car." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, "You lying motherfucker." So I popped the hood. He wanted to crank the car down. Let me pop the hood and check some stuff. So I popped the hood, and I see the red wire running down the fender to the cooling fan. I'm like, I knew it. So I checked the oil, and I think the oil was dirty and might have been a little low, but not really a red flag, right? So I'm just looking around the motor to see if I see anything like cold air intake, because I won't let anybody buy a car with cold air intake. I don't give a damn how professional it look. To me, only an idiot would put cold air intake on a car. And especially Impala. But anyway, so I'm looking around the car. Everything other than the red wire running to the cooling fan seemed pretty legit. So I told him go ahead and start it up. And he started up, and the damn thing had a busted exhaust pipe, exhaust manifold or something. It ran loud. It ran like a plucker. Okay. And I'm thinking, okay, that's it. That's it. I'm done. The car's purple. There's a red wire running to the cooling fan. The engine probably has run hot. And then it's got a busted exhaust manifold. Again, only an idiot would paint a Impala purple. Okay? First of all, and idiots do stupid stuff to cars trying to make them look flashy. You don't want a car like that. So I told the lady I was with that, we're done. And she got mad at me and said, I didn't spend enough time looking at the car. Whatever. She said that she wasn't going to ever ask me to look at another car with her again. Fine with me. Fine. I don't care. I'm not done. I'm done with that, but let me tell you another one. Another lady asked me to go with her nephew to look at a Mustang. We went to this Honda dealership way out there in freaking Kennesaw some damn where. Anyway, the car looked nice. It looked fairly decent, smelled fairly decent. We test drive the car, and I noticed that at a red light, the engine is kind of shaking. And it's not really skipping, but it's shaking at idle, right? And I'm like, why is the engine shaking? So we pull off, the car runs fairly good, run no check engine light or whatever. So we get back to the dealership. Now that shaking, I don't know what it is. I don't know why it's shaking, but I don't want no part of it. Okay. Also, I popped the hood to look at the engine, and I noticed that the fender looks like it's been wrecked. It ain't quite the same color as the other fender. The right side of the car had been wrecked. I mean, and the thing was, it was clear enough that the guy even noticed it. The nephew, he even noticed it. But he was ready to buy the car. But I'm like, you don't want to buy a car that's shaking. There's something wrong with this engine. You don't want to buy this car. All right. So we left. All right. He went back and bought the car. Anyway, not even a week later, the check engine light comes on. He take it to a mechanic because he wanted to take it to me, but I told him I'm not touching the car. He's like, why not? I'm not touching the car. I told you not to buy the car. You bought it anyway. I'm not touching it. So he took it to a mechanic, found out it needed a tune-up. So they spent, I don't know, $300-something to get a tune-up done on the car. The car still ran the exact same. Check his light coming back on. He take it back. Turns out one of the cylinders had a misfire. What they call it, compression was a little down on that cylinder. And I'm guessing normally when you have one cylinder that has low compression, you have a burnt valve or something. So he needed another motor for that car. He eventually ended up taking it back to the Honda place, and I think he returned it. They raised a bunch of hell, but they ended up buying the car back or taking the car back or something like that. But again, it just does not take me long to figure out when something is just not right. And I'm 53 years old. I've been dealing with cars my whole life, and some people think I'm old school, think that I don't know about new technology, and that's completely opposite. I love new technology. I am not afraid of new technology. I love it, But there was another car. A lady bought she was buying a Suburban. She asked me to test drive the Suburban. I drove the Suburban, and Suburban ran like it needed a tune-up. But it seemed like it was a little more to it than that. I couldn't really put my finger on it, but it seemed like it was a little more to it than that. So I told her, I said, you don't need to buy that truck. I think the motor is bad. Oh, no, he said you need a tune-up. Whenever you buy a car from somebody, they tell you, oh, it just need a tune-up. Why didn't they just do a tune-up on it? You get more money after the tune-up, right? Don't ever buy a car from somebody say, oh, it just need an oxygen sensor. Oxygen sensors are pretty cheap to replace. If it just needs an oxygen sensor, why didn't they replace it? Anywho, this lady went ahead and bought the Suburban. And she and her boyfriend decided to do a tune-up on it. All right. One of the plugs they could not, I think they got the plug out, but they couldn't get the plug back in. So I had to come over and put the plug in. Right. Cranked the engine up, it ran the exact same way it did before. Guess what it was? A burnt valve. I think it was number 8 cylinder was bad. I knew it was something wrong with that engine. I didn't know what, but I knew it needed more than a tune-up. But like I said, people always ask me to go with them to look at cars, and when I don't agree with them, they want to dismiss me. Like, why the hell did you ask me to go with you? But whatever, man. But this is also the reason why I don't go with anybody to look at a car no more. I don't give it. You can't even pay me. You can't even pay me. I don't go with anybody to look at a damn car no more, because they're gonna get what they want. If they see something they want that car. Anywho, Dre, y'all have a good day.